For every son and daughter, shining ever bright. Freedom, faith, and family, the pillars of our stand. Building up our people, strong across the land from generation to generation. Wisdom passed along where every single member knows exactly where they belong. Yeah, freedom, faith, and family, a powerful decree for the American spirit, wild and truly free. Yeah, wild and truly free. Now freedom ain't just words, it's the air we breathe each.
All right, let's get started, Lily.
Okay.
Welcome to another podcast of Reviving the American Family. I'm your host, Zach, and we got a special guest today. She's usually running the show and behind the scenes, but we got Lilly Grady.
Hello, everyone.
Lily, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit more?
I'm Lily. I really like politics. I also do have my own social media on TikTok if you want to go support me.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them what your tag name or whatever it is.
I think it's Weirdo Core.
Weirdo Core?
Let me check.
Oh, that's a strange name.
Well, it's
People should be able to find it though, so that's good.
Yeah.
The weirder, the more they'll remember.
It's Weirdo Core Space.
Space, like
Yeah.
not a space, but like SPACE.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I have about 1,000 followers. So I'm
All right.
really proud of
No bragging. No bragging.
that. I
All
want
right.
to be able to go on YouTube eventually, but I want to get a little more followers.
And then you can bring them all over to YouTube with
Yeah.
you
Say, go over to my YouTube channel if you want more videos.
and teach us how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's. We wanted to have Lily on to be able to go over some of her experience with school and homeschooling and what her thoughts are on it. Just to give you a little bit of a background, at least kind of my stance or thoughts on homeschooling. So my wife's been wanting to homeschool for like 5 years, almost since the time we moved here.
No, she wanted to homeschool around when she made it obvious to me. It was like around 4th grade. She noticed I was getting bullied a lot. She offered it. I said no. And
Yeah.
she kept offering it like 5th grade, 6th grade, and I finally caved in 7th grade. Not 7th. Yeah, 8th grade.
Yeah, I think where I noticed it was that, and then it kind of escalated when COVID hit, because where we live, the whole place was shut down. Everybody had to wear a mask, and we didn't love you guys having to wear a mask. We didn't love kind of how the school vibe was going with everybody had to be masked up. They were really pushing in our state really hard the vaccines. And then mixed with not really having a great time at school. April, my wife was pushing it. I was pretty resistant to it. And do you remember why?
You wanted me to have like a social experience when it came to it, and also you really wanted me to just try to tough it up and like learn how to be able to deal with that. But eventually you caved in because it was like the whole class, and it wasn't just a couple people. It was actually including the teachers. It got worse in middle school.
Well, I think for me it was a couple reasons. Number one, I do think, my experience with people that were homeschooled is that they were pretty awkward. They didn't have the social skills that kids their age had. But since Lily, I was definitely felt more comfortable with it because Lily had been going through school for many years, and this is actually her 8th grade year. So she's going to be going into high school, and she's not going to homeschool in high school unless she wants to. But yeah. I think she just wanted to do it this year because it just became a little too much. So she tried to, and the other part was it does create resilience. It's tough. It makes you a little tougher to have to deal with those things. I think Lily has that, but the other part was I didn't really want it affecting her confidence and who she was as a person, as a daughter of our Heavenly Father, and have her, feel comfortable with that, and that, she's loved and cared about. So it just became a little bit too much, right?
Yeah, it was constant. It got worse in middle school having the teachers because I had an IEP in school, so I needed a little more extra help, and they were not providing me the extra help I needed. One teacher did. We'll actually shout her out. That teacher, I'm not going to say.
Well, she knows. Yeah, she knows who she is.
Yeah, she that one teacher really helped me out. She was my extra help teacher. She helped me out, but when it came to the other teachers, they would just like either just give me the answer or like put me with a smart kid instead of like having the smart kid help me out. They would just expect the smart kid to like do all the work for me and not point out how I'm not doing anything. And that would also be part of the self-esteem thing. Because then I noticed how, like, I felt dumb. And it wasn't dumbness, it's just I learned differently. I learned a little differently, and they weren't able to help me with that difference.
Yeah. It wasn't that you're dumb, but it was maybe the other kid maybe was doing more than what you were doing. They would get frustrated with that, and then it kind of I think the strategy behind that really wasn't working for you or for your classmates.
Yeah, in the mind, it might sound smart. Oh, part with the smart kid, not the smart kid. Part with the kid that understands it better. The kid will be able to teach her. And, like, that's not really the kid's job. That's your job. If I'm struggling or falling behind, your job is to come to me and aid for what I need. It's a small school, too. It's not like you have a bunch of kids, so.
Yeah, her class is probably like the entire, not just class. There's only one class, right? And there's like, 20, 25 people in that class?
It's a small school. You have 2 teachers in math class, which was a subject I struggled in most. You have 2 teachers just for kids that need extra help, and I was still getting avoided. So that was the main reason. My main reason was really I wasn't getting help I needed.
Yeah. So now we studied a few different options for homeschooling. We landed on what's the name of it?
Acellus.
Acellus. Yeah. So we landed on that, and tell us a little bit about that and how that's been going.
So I really like Acellus because when you do fall behind, you don't have like IEP and you're not like stuck in that one class you're falling behind in. They put you in the subject, that only subject you were stuck on, and you keep doing that subject until you get it right.
Are you able to pick the classes for homeschooling, or how did that work?
So they have the one class you got to pick was language, and my mom picked Spanish for me because there's other languages that weren't very useful. We have a lot of Spanish speaking in America in this modern day, so she thought Spanish would be nice.
If one of these guys, and he knows who he is listening, he'll be excited because he's a Spanish speaker from Honduras.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it right now.
Yeah.
So don't get too excited.
Don't try to put Spanish in the chat and have you respond to it.
Yeah, no. I'm not that good.
Probably as good as me, though.
Yeah. So we got to pick that class. And
so you had like 3 or 4 classes that are like, hey, if you're in 8th grade, you should be doing these classes. Then you had others that you're able to pick.
Necessary class. There's other, which is Spanish. So it's like other class.
Mm-hmm.
Science, math, reading. Don't know what it's called, but it's basically just talking about like how to be kind. Basically, that's your social thing. You like how to be social. If you're constantly homeschooled, they teach you how to be a normal social person, which I like that. That was your concern. So it's teaching you, hey, you can't just be mean to people, or you gotta have normal hygiene.
Yeah. Which you've never had a problem with that.
No,
but that was kind of funny.
That class annoys me though. It's like
Lily's kind of a girly girl, so she likes the makeup, she likes the perfume, she likes
smell good. I don't like when I smell bad. I like when you tell me when I smell bad.
Well, I don't think that happens very often, but
No.
if it does, we're a pretty open family.
Hey, you stink. I would prefer that than smelling. So. Yeah. And it's like that's the social class, teaching you how to be a social person without being social. There's one more class. Oh, there's career and readiness, and then social studies.
Yeah. So we have one comment, Lily. It says, my sister started homeschooling about 2 years ago. My wife and I thought about it, but we felt we need to wait a little longer. Any thoughts on that?
Hold on, let me read it myself. Homeschooling about 2 years ago. Can this heart move, bro? Personally, why do you?
I mean, that's what I did, right? I had you wait and wait and wait.
You didn't really. It was. I'm a very social person, so that was my main concern. Not getting social interaction. You did push it, no.
Well, I would say mom pushed it, right?
You pushed it away.
And then I said no to her, but you weren't really wanting to do that either. You liked the social interaction.
But
But
gosh,
but it just got, I think the end of 7th grade it got a little too much, or you were almost ready for that. But then you said you got 1 year left with this group, and then you'll be in high school. In high school, it's a bigger group, so there's more people to try to find as friends. Where she's in a very small school, well, there's like 10 girls,
yeah,
and
they're very cliquey. If you're not in there, you're not in there. There's
Yeah.
2 groups of girls. One is weird girls, and they're not really that weird.
and a lot of them are like, cousins, or they've known each other since
Or their
they're
family
very
has just been
little.
here for generations and generations. Some
Yeah.
girls have never moved, and they never felt the feeling of
Make
going
sure
to
the
a new
mic
state.
is close to your face.
Felt the need, felt like the going to a new state, making completely new friends, which I honestly think is pretty important for a kid. Like feeling how it is to lose friends, come to a new state, learn how to make new ones, learn how to manage a new school, because each schools are different in each states because there's different rules in each states.
Yeah.
So I feel
Well,
like that's very important.
I think when you go to college or on your mission or something like that, you'll adjust easier because you're used to, you've moved 3 times in different places, so you'll be used to kind of having those. So I think there's some benefits of. I've thought about this a lot because I've made my kids move a total of 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah.
There's some benefits of obviously laying down roots and having that established, area that you live in. And there's also benefits for your kids if you do have to move. And it's something that I've kind of worried about, but I do see some of the positives. We have one of our daughters on a mission now, and she's done really well with not, adjusting. She's gotten homesick a little bit.
Which is normal. She's all
and
the
then-
way on the other side of the world.
Yeah, but she's like the change. She's like the culture. There's just, she has a little moments every once in a while. But I do think having to move, make new friends, get new areas, and she's the oldest, so she's had to do it the most.
No, she's the youngest in her group.
No, she's the oldest in our family where we've
Oh,
had to
I
move.
thought she was.
Yeah, so I think that it has definitely helped.
Yeah.
So you've got, how many classes are you taking right now?
There's, I think, about 5 or 6.
5 or 6. So what name your classes?
Science, math, social studies, career and readiness. The feelings one. I don't know what to call
Does
it.
that even count as a class, a feelings class?
You have tests on it. Half the time I fail those because
Oh,
I'm
great.
not half the time. I get like a B, which I'm like really upset about. I'm like, so sometimes they throw in what's not to do.
Oh, the old not to do instead of what to do.
I'm like, yo, 3 of these I don't feel like you should do.
Yeah.
When someone's yelling at you, when someone's bullying, what do you do? Ignore them.
Yeah.
Be
yeah.
kind to them. Or yell at them back. Yell at them back. Oh, I get that wrong.
So you were able to choose a couple classes, and then
Spanish.
what do you like when well, let me ask you, when we say classes, are you in with other people, or is it just you learning by yourself?
So this is something I haven't figured out. You're competing with other kids. You get points and you also have a streak if you're like, some kids do this for school. It's like for school and it's like an extra thing you do. But sometimes it is also a homeschool thing, so you can compete with kids for points. I
Okay.
get so aggressive with that.
Well,
They
that's
don't
good.
even know. Every time there's this one person that got above me. I was like, that's mine. That's supposed to be mine. I'm supposed to be first place. I do this every day. You're at school, I bet.
So you get points, and then do you get like some badge or award or something if you get enough
No,
points?
you're just first place.
Just get first. Okay, well, that's good for those that are competitive. I like that. So you do have a little bit of interaction there.
Yeah.
I think one of the good things for Lilly, one of the reasons why I was hesitant about it, and I didn't know anything about homeschooling, admittedly, but I knew I didn't have the time to really dedicate and like teach you. And when I think of homeschooling, I think of, back in back when I was your age,
Back when I was young.
I think, it was like mom was home and she was pretty much the teacher. And our household, both of us work. And with trying to balance everything, I was worried about that. But tell us a little bit about that and how that works for you.
So my parents don't do anything. We're homeschooled. We're like online schooled.
We don't do jack.
You don't do anything.
Keep going.
They do help me every once in a while. I'm not gonna like completely give them out. Like, so basically, it's just like if you struggle with one subject and you fail the test, it's really not that a big of a deal. It's not as big as they make it at school. It's just, hey, you're not smart enough at this subject, so we need to keep doing it. So they keep doing it. You do the test again. You fail again. You still keep doing it.
Yeah.
It doesn't push you back. It just says, this subject we're going to nail into your brain until you get it right, which is very helpful when it comes to like science and math, which was my most struggle subjects, because they would nail it in until I got it right.
Yeah.
Instead of being just completely held back, that's what they do in public school and other schools.
I think I relate it to, like, if you're in a race, let's say you're racing 8 people.
Yeah.
And there's the fastest kid. Once he crosses the finish line, they just make you stop. Like, it's done. And then you're moving on to the next thing. Yeah, and for Lily, if she was in this in this analogy, if she was the last person, she wouldn't get to run all the way through. So she wasn't really learning the whole subject. She would get to one point, and then they would be on the next subject.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, like, it's not about pass or fail. It's about going at your pace to learn as much as you can.
Yeah, which I like that better when it comes to people that learn differently, that struggle in certain subjects, because it's not like, oh, you're failing. It's, oh, you're not doing good at this.
Yeah.
So you need more time on it. Instead of when school, they just like, you fall behind.
Well, another thing, like I said, being a millennial in my 40s, that I didn't realize and know, but let's say Lily has a subject that she's having a hard time with. Well, at school, you're learning it, they're saying it once, and you don't have a button to go back and listen to it, where most of your learning, if I'm not mistaken, is videos, right?
Yeah, so it's video task. If you get like 4 questions wrong in the task, they say, you're going to watch the video again. And we watch the video again. And then they offer another video, like you can watch this one that you've just watched.
Yeah.
Or you can watch a new one where it teaches you differently in a way you might understand.
Yep.
Which I like that better.
For those that have jumped on and watched, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, and we would appreciate that. And that would be great for us. That helps out the algorithm and gets us out to more people. And I think especially with subjects like these where families are debating on homeschooling, this is important for you guys to hear these types of subjects. So we've got a couple questions here. One from...
Let me read.
Yeah, go ahead.
Someone said, how do you build a healthy social life homeschooling? Is this guy even in chat? In the chat. Thank you, Eric Grady, 4881. For me, for what I do for my social life, I've tried getting a job, which would be good. I haven't got any calls yet. Hopefully I do. Also online.
So one thing, let's just go back. So Lily has kind of felt a little bit lonely, right?
Yeah, but
Fair
I have
enough.
social media. That's what I use personally. That's actually, when I go on video games, commonly people that are not in school around the time I'm not, they're like, oh yeah, I'm homeschooled too. I'm like, oh, okay. And they talk about, video games and online is my social life, and that's perfectly fine. I guess there's a point, like, you can't be on it 24/7, but that's how most homeschool kids get their social interaction, because that's what they have nowadays. They didn't have that back then, and it was just, oh, you're screwed.
Yeah. Well, Lily also, and every kid's a little bit different. Lily, I would say, has a talent for public speaking, teaching. She teaches at our church a lot. So she's got a lot of talents in that arena. So I would also just say every person's going to be a little bit different. If your child is super shy, which Lily isn't, then I would say, you might have to look at that differently. but Lily doesn't struggle with that. Now, she does want that social interaction, which she gets. She did apply to a bunch of places here in where we live, and but she's very young. She's only 14, so it's probably going to be a little bit tough. But the other thing that she does is that she does a lot of social media. She does the TikTok. She does, what other stuff do you do?
I play Roblox VC, voice chat.
Yeah.
And then I play VR chat, which that one's probably the best when it comes to teenagers. Don't recommend that for kids, teenagers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Be
you,
careful stuff.
yeah, VR chat is like you do have like a body. You have an avatar, and you can play as that avatar. You have arms, you can move around. I like that a lot because it feels like you're actually in it. So you can actually have real social interactions with the social anxiety and stuff like that, and having restraint.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, look, I got a question. This one's for me, not for you, Lily. So Chris just asked, Zach, what's one thing you wish you knew before transitioning your family into homeschooling? Well, I think the biggest thing for me, Chris, is I didn't realize, or I didn't, again, I thought about it kind of the old school way of mom having to take a lot of time out of her day, or dad to be able to do it. And you know, I just did not have that time. And I worried that that would get pushed off on me, and it would not be a good balance of school slash, you know, jobs and those types of things. So I was worried that it put more stress on the family, more stress on the marriage. And I sometimes can snap at people, and how I would be with my kids with all that. So you know, sincerely, I was a little bit worried about that. But what I didn't realize is that they have videos, which I should have known. I mean, it's 2025 here, but they have videos. And Lily, if she doesn't understand
2026.
2026. Sorry, you got me. So you can go in and you can just press that button, and you can listen to that over and over and over again until you get it. So I think that was probably when I realized that, it made me feel a lot more comfortable. Now, honestly, I didn't know it until we actually made the decision and started, and were able to get into it. But and I assume that every homeschool site is different. We use, I think it's Acellus, and we've been really happy about it. I know there's other ones out there that people use, and they like it too. But I can only just tell you, Acellus has been really good.
Yeah.
I think it's based in Kansas City and so forth. So
Fun fact.
So April said, this is mom says, it's online private school now. They get credits and they can graduate with a diploma. So I think that's also pretty cool. Some of them don't have that option, so you kind of have to shop around. But if you want to look at Acellus, that's been really good. We skipped Lauren's question. Why don't you go ahead and read that? Sorry, Lauren.
What advice would you give to kids that struggle with in school, that have potential but don't have
The option
to homeschool? What self-talk has helped you mostly?
So it's two questions, right?
Yeah.
It's if you don't have the option, you know,
Like they don't have the money, or
or
they don't want to do it in general.
Yeah, like what would you suggest to them? And then number two is, has there been a self-talk help or a book that you've read or something like that that's helped you build?
So when it comes to that, because most kids go homeschool because for the same reason I do, it's either holy brain fart. It's either them getting bullied and not being treated right by other kids in their school, or them not getting help they need in school. So when I say that, if it's getting bullied, really trying to, because even if you live in a small school, there will always be at least one or two kids that will gladly be your friend. I had that in my school. There's two kids. They were really kind. I'm still friends with them. They're really nice. So there will always be at least one person that will like to hang out with you. And then
what about the education piece of it?
What I did, because I was struggling with both, was find my clique. What did I know that I was good with? That could give me a career. That's what you think. What am I good at that can give me a career? Which was politics.
Yeah.
I really am interested and I find myself good at politics. So it's politics for me. So just finding what you're good at and finding at least that one person that cares about you.
Yeah. That's good advice. And Lily, and if someone is struggling, they don't have an IEP, I think that's good to let your school know, like, hey, I'd like to have her tested if she needs an IEP. Lily actually originally got her IEP when she was like 3 or 4.
I didn't even know what it was.
And
like,
it was
I didn't get
because
to go in
it was
special
because
class.
of a speech impediment.
Yeah.
And she had the weirdest speech impediment. I've never heard
Rolled
it.
my T's, right?
You would well CHs. I think you would like church.
Sure.
Yeah, you would roll your CHs. So, Chris, being Spanish, is really good at rolling his R's. But Chris, can you roll your CHs?
I can still do it. Church.
Yeah, you were amazing at it before.
Hi, April Grady 6806. That's my mom.
Yep.
Oh, we have someone from TikTok, my TikTok channel. Hello, it's Alistair from TikTok.
Woo woo.
Yay! Welcome to the thing.
Alistair, if you have not subscribed, you've got to subscribe. Please, por favor.
This is political, so if you don't like political stuff,
Well, it's family too. It's other
family.
stuff. You can watch what you want to. So what else, Lily? What else have you? Anything else that was a surprise to you? Whether you liked it a lot, didn't like it?
when I first started beginning, and it would like say, "Hey, you can't do this yet, so you got to go back and you got to keep doing it." Like,
So it will force you to know the subject.
no, yeah, you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice, which is really I actually like that a lot better. Honestly,
into it.
there's a lot of things how to learn. I think it is a lot better than what schools do.
Yeah, I feel
The
like
main thing
you're
that I
just failing.
Yeah, the main thing that I still worry about is just the socialization, getting out, especially us because we live in the country and we don't live in a neighborhood. So, Lily is 14, she can't drive. So, she can't go to her friends and just get out.
Yeah.
So, I think that is one of the things that I still worry about. I just don't want her to be lonely, but I actually think the learning experience is way better. And not just because Lily has struggled with learning, I think it's better for really anyone.
Yeah, a lot of people, when it comes to that, and it comes to homeschool parents, they do say, Charlie Kirk like that. He said he preferred homeschooled because a girl was telling him, I know some people don't like him. He was a great guy in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he said a girl was talking about homeschool, and she was like, "What do you think about the people that say homeschool people aren't good and they won't do good in life at all because they don't get social interaction?" He said, "Let them say that to your face when you own the business they're working at." I was like, "Oh gosh, yay!"
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Because it's not, "Oh, you're failing," and shaming you for failing. It's, you don't understand the subject, so we're gonna go back and you're gonna get it right.
Yeah. And honestly, most subjects it's not like I remember what I learned in 7th and 8th grade or whatever, but I think it is important to obviously be educated and learn, but people are educated in different ways. You mentioned Charlie Kirk. He didn't have, degrees and a school diploma, but if you ever heard him talk, I mean, you knew he was smart and he knew his stuff. Whether you agree with him or not, he read, I think he said 50 books a year was his recommendation to at least read.
Yeah.
But if you listen to people like Ben Shapiro, a lot of them, Ben Shapiro said he reads 2 to 3 books a week, which is a crazy amount of reading. So that's not possible for everybody's got different talents, right?
Yeah.
I think the important thing is that you lean into those talents, and being successful in grade school or even high school really doesn't mean
you're great.
You're going to be great at something else when you're actually an adult. It can mean that, but it doesn't. I know a lot of successful people that didn't do that great in high school or in grade school, but they're really good at their job, whether that's construction, whether you own a roofing company, whatever the case might be. There's a lot of people that are good.
Yeah. I had something to say. When it comes to homeschooling, it really helps you find yourself. Because when it comes to middle school, you are really suppressed. It comes like you have to be a certain way, and your like emotions are so big because you're just starting puberty. So it's like I really want to fit in. So when it comes to homeschooling, if you get really big on that, which that happened to me, like I was overly obsessed with people liking me. So I would really suppress myself, change my personality for each person I talked to. And it ended up me not even knowing my personality. The moment I went homeschool, I learned what I was. I learned I like being out, I like being loud, I like talking. I like saying what I believe in. I like being funnily. Whoa, that's not a word. I like being funny and harsh, and I like politics. I like making people laugh. I like social media,
Yeah.
and I didn't know that about myself when I was in school.
I think you were, like you said, I think you described it perfect. And I think we talked about this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to change yourself to try to fit in. And I think people try to do that, and other people will sense that. It's almost like a weakness that they can sense.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. And I think Lily, over the last 6 months, has really learned that and has built confidence. And people are going to like you. I mean, they know who you are. You can't you can't fake it. You just need to be who you are, and you'll find friends, especially when you get to high school where you've got 1,500 people in the high school versus we live in like I said, a really small town. There's only in the where she goes, there's only like 500 people that live in that town. So it's very small, and that can be difficult. We've got some people watching here, so great job. Appreciate you guys doing that. If you can, please go and subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. Just go ahead and click that subscribe button. You can see there's a lot of comments, a lot of people wanting to know more information about homeschooling. But we do, I do recommend that, and I can't believe I'm saying it. If the people that know me understand kind of my personality, which is pretty strong, and I was fearful that my daughter would socially would fall behind. And I think that's important, especially as an adult. That socialization is extremely important. That's how you talk, when you're on an interview, and how every job you pretty much have to talk on, and it can set you behind if you don't have some of those skills. And Lily hasn't lost any of it. If anything, she's just gotten better and better. Now, I will say, Lily's in sports too. She does soccer.
Yeah.
She's not doing it now because it's,
Winter
0
time.
degrees out and it's wintertime.
We got the ice storm.
Yeah. And she also, we're pretty active in our church. On Wednesdays, we have activities. On Sundays, we're at church. And Lily is one of the leaders at church within the young women. So that all helps too, being active in your group.
Yeah, I feel like it's very important to be active. But sometimes that's hard for people because they don't know who they are. They have the big social anxiety where they're scared that they're going to get judged. Like, when it comes to that, it's just, I don't want to be like a little harsh, but like the way to get over that is just kind of suck it up.
Yeah.
I don't want, that might sound harsh because a lot of people do have social anxiety to the point where it comes hard where they speak first. They have someone speak to them and then they speak. I feel like that can be very harmful though sometimes, because then you want to say something but you're too scared because you haven't been spoken to.
Right.
So I say sometimes you gotta, of course I've never had really bad social anxiety where it's like I need to wait for someone to speak to me. It's always been like I can be the person that speaks to you.
Yeah.
So maybe I might be wrong on this, but I feel like it is, you gotta kind of say I have it, but there's only one way to get over it, which is talk to someone.
Yeah. Yep. Which, like I said, that's going to take you a lot further than knowing how to, do some type of math equation,
I feel like it's like, oh, I can't talk to people, but I know this times this or this and this and this and that and that.
Yeah. And especially you'll be a great missionary for the church too. So
Yeah.
that's another plus. Lily's not scared to talk to pretty much anyone. And we've taught all of our daughters, like, you know, we'll expect them to do certain things, whether it's go up and talk to the waiter or something like that. We don't do those types of things for them. We make them do it so that they don't feel nervous about ordering food or whatever the case might be. So I think each person needs to have their own voice, and the more you can teach your kids that, the more independent they'll be. And when they're ready to be an adult, it's not a failure to launch situation. So
Yeah.
anything else, Lily, that you think is important to know?
Being who you are, just even when you're in school, since some people don't have the option to homeschool, just understanding your self-worth, knowing that, oh, just because this one person doesn't like me, doesn't mean the next person won't. What? It doesn't mean the next person won't. Because when it comes to that mindset, I've had that mindset. It's like, oh, they don't like me. That means no one else will like me.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because then they won't like you. Because then you have that self-esteem that they don't like you. Just say, hey, they don't like my food. Because when it comes to food, treat yourself like your food. You are a plate of food, let's say spaghetti. Someone doesn't like spaghetti. You're not going to get mad at them for not liking spaghetti. You're just going to give it to some person that does like spaghetti.
Yep. Cool.
So it's just like knowing if someone doesn't like you, that means you're just not their type of food.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
Anyways.
Well, that's the last thought, guys. Thanks. Have a good night. Bye.